Hey guys, today I want to do a vlog on over prepare and go with the flow. And what that means is this: is that if you over prepare, it makes it that much easier kind of to go with the flow afterwards. One thing I learned from over preparing, and I wouldn't call myself a prepper. I'd call myself an over prepper. Okay, and I'm not talking about the people that save up for the end of the world or anything like that. I'm just talking about prepping. Period. Okay, and by that I mean this: that before I came here, I did a lot of planning, many years. And like I've told you people before, I've worked 2 jobs, worked overtime. I had all my budgets down to the very last nickel so that I could save everything. I really wanted to save every dollar I could so that when I got over here, I could live really good and live happily. And I mean, you guys have seen the budgets out there and my budget, so you guys know where I'm at today. And thankfully that throughout my life I really kind of prepared for my pensions, my 403Bs and things like that, and I've done exceptionally well with that. I prepared for that. And granted, I mean, I have like a pension through the municipal thing, but most, and I get a little bit off of that, and I get a little bit off my 403Bs, and another pension that I get from another company and stuff like that too, and I get a few other things, and I don't make a killing, but I make enough over here that I could live. If I was back in the United States, living off of what I live off, I could live fairly decent in most areas, decent, but over here, I can live really well, and I'm really happy and grateful that I was able to have that planning. And even though I've gone through, like a divorce towards the end, if you get close to your retirement and you go through a divorce, it massacres your retirement planning. Let me tell you, it does. It is it just totally destroys it. It almost kills it. And fortunately for me, I'm one of these people that I won't let things kill me. I won't let it take me down to the ground and just make me give up. And I just won't let it get me there. When I was younger, I said, I'm going to retire at 55. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to be there. And I always try to over prepare. And when you go through life, you go through divorces and they take half or more. And you go through all that crap. And every time you go through that, it takes you back down to ground zero. And you have to reevaluate, reassess, and replan. And by over planning, it kind of helps you a little bit. It kind of gets you there, and it did get me there. And I'm thankful that today that I did do that. By over prepping, it has paid off in big dividends over here, because when I did my budgets over here to come over here for my startup funds. I'll call it startup funds rather than a startup budget. But it was kind of like a budget for when I get here to have everything set up and everything and rolling. What I did was I kind of overdid it. Like I had my first, last, and security deposit all ready to roll, and I had extra money so I could almost pay up to a year in advance, so I could survive for a year, not worry about anything. God forbid some of my things didn't kick in or there was a glitch or something like that. I had everything ready, all kinds of like backup switches I could flick on if I had to, if something happened. And it was, I put myself in a really good spot, so much so to the point that when I had everything finished, I had a few dollars left over, and I was like, okay, if there's one thing I could do around here, what would it be? And I kept riding by these cabanas all the time, and I stopped to look at them, and I asked how much they were, and they told me how much they were. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get me one of those. And I got it. And that cabana is like my pride and my joy now, because we use that cabana so much, and I'm so happy about that cabana because it has helped the community around this area a lot, with everybody around here. We all sit in there and chat. When friends come over, when we have barbecues, birthdays, what have you. When my godchild's here, she sits out there and eats at night. We sit out there and have dinner with everybody here, and we all bring different plates to the table or whatever. And, it's just an enjoyable experience for all of us. And I'm thankful that I had that extra money to be able to do that. And you guys can do that too. Definitely try to overplan if you can afford to. I understand some people can't afford to. And some people, their budget's not going to be like my budget, okay? And I accept that, and I understand that. And if you guys ever want to talk about something like, and I've talked to people about this before, and you need some help with something, feel free to give me a call if you think you need to or something like that. And I'll talk to you about it. If you have a really low budget, if it's something below $1,500, I just don't recommend people come over here. I just don't, because I don't think it's safe. I know some people can. If you're coming over here and you're going to be a loner and you're not going to have a girlfriend, it's probably fine. If you're an older guy and you just want to come over here because you like the warm weather or something like that, you're going to be a loner or whatever, then yeah, you might be able to make it. But you better have like a good emergency fund for your insurance, or as a medical emergency fund or whatever, that's going to fund you if you have like a heart attack or a stroke or something like that. And over here, you do kind of need a caretaker, guys. If you're in your 70s and you're not healthy, it's good to have a caretaker over here. Even if the person comes by and checks on you for 4 hours a day or 8 hours a day or something, and you can have that in your budget or whatever. Just be careful, guys. That's what I say. Always over prep for things. Have extra money. Be ready. Be prepared. What was it? It was a Boy Scout thing. Be prepared. I remember seeing that on the ads back in like the 1970s. That be prepared thing. It was like a big thing. I believe it was the Boy Scouts or something like that. But guys, just always be ready. Always be ready. Have the excess in there. It's a big help, and you'll do very, very well in the Philippines. God bless, guys. Take care.